After finishing Jujutsu Kaisen a few days ago, I was thinking and I was wondering what I could possibly talk about because there is so much that happened in Season 1 and I feel like I could talk about so many topics, but the character and the scenes that stuck out to me after reflecting on the show have to do with Nobara Kugisaki. This character really grew on me in like ways that I almost can't even explain, right? Like I feel like when she was first introduced, it was hard to really get to know her because she was introduced and then very quickly Itadori the whole thing with Sukuna happened and we got to see Megumi more and we got to see Itadori more and we didn't really get to focus too much on Nobara. But as the show went on, she really solidified herself as a major player in this story and one that to me is probably the most unique, and like her scenes hit harder than any other character in this show, in my opinion. I'm gonna break them down, sort of see what you guys think about it, and just explain my perspective on why I think Kugisaki is probably the best character in Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Gojou is like the coolest character. I think Itadori, is I don't know, he's Itadori, like what can I say? I think every character has their own place and I love that they're sort of based on tropes, but many times they break out of that trope. I love that scene with Megumi where he kind of goes psycho, you know what I mean? Like I like seeing stuff like that. But the way that Kugisaki is presented is just brilliant. It's not uncommon to have a trio as the main characters in your shonen anime, and usually, the main character's a guy, then you've got the girl, and then you've got the other guy, right? Usually the two guys are like rivals, or they're best friends and rivals. You see this all the time. And usually the main girl is a love interest of the main guy, or maybe she ends up with the other guy, or she's like very feminine, but also she does some fighting or healing. That's sort of the trope. However, that trope is found nowhere in Jujutsu Kaisen, especially with the three main characters. I mean, Nobara is in no way, they have not implied this whatsoever, a love interest of the other two guys. She really just they feel like a trio of friends, Like, you could take away her gender and it wouldn't really change the story whatsoever, except for one scene. And I want to talk about this scene because this is the scene that I felt like truly solidified Nobara as a character, and that's her fight against Momo. Before this, she was with Itadori, she helped fight the curses in that building, we got to see her straw doll technique, but this fight, not only did we get to see more of her technique and just her awesomeness as a whole, but she really hit home with a speech that I recently rewatched it and there's something about this, seeing a scene like this in a shonen anime is almost unheard of. If you don't know what I'm talking about or you need a refresher, basically Momo and Nobara are talking and going back and forth about Mai and Maki, partially, and Momo is saying, oh, Mai has it so bad because she's a woman who basically was forced to become a Jujutsu sorcerer because of Maki, and the fact that she's a woman, she basically, not only does she have to be strong, but she also has to be beautiful, and therefore pretty much has to be perfect. Like if you're a dude, Jujutsu sorcerer, you pretty much just have to be strong, but women also have to be cute, or marketable, or whatever. And basically Momo was placing the entire Jujutsu world into this realm of males and females, masculine and feminine, and if you're a girl this, and if you're a guy this, and very much placing boundaries within this world and within this universe. And Nobara was having none of that. First of all, I love the point she made about Maki and Mai both being from the same background, and yet Maki handles it a million times better. But I just love the fact that Nobara is okay, yes, when I'm putting on cute dresses or I'm shopping, because Nobara likes fashion, right? I love myself. I love myself when I'm all dressed up and being feminine, but I also love myself when I'm kicking absolute ass, when I'm going out there and just wrecking all the bad guys and being strong. I love myself then too. And not only does this show this love for herself, this immense strength in her confidence in her own self, but it also puts into perspective this feeling that you aren't just a girl. You aren't just a guy. If you're a girl who likes feminine things, that's fine. Guys like masculine things, but it can go vice versa as well. And you can also be somewhere in the middle. It just showed that there was this realm of different possibilities within yourself. Nobara can be someone who likes fashion, but is also a supreme savage. Characters are girl characters, feminine characters. Characters in shonen that are girls who like fashion, they're typically very girly, or they're scared of bugs, or they don't like getting dirty, or whatever. But Nobara is someone who loves fashion, she loves being a girl, but also she freaking can stick 3 nails into her wrist and smiles as blood's trickling down her face. She just like, dude, Nobara's crazy. Again, it's just breaking the boundaries of shonen anime, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that this is the first time this has been done. However, it's the first time that I've seen it done to such a degree that the balance is amazing. For example, there can be a show where like, okay, yes, the woman character is extremely strong, but they don't ever really address the fact that this world is against women and what women are suffering from, but then the woman who is strong, what she does to like handle that, and she's like, screw that, I don't care about that, I'm gonna be who I am. Like, it's the first time I've seen it to such a degree. And I don't know, it just hits. It hits so hard, and this is just one example of why Jujutsu Kaisen is, in my opinion, breaking so many boundaries for shonen anime. Once again, it's not like it's revolutionizing in every category, but in ways like this, like little scenes and little ways, it's doing it to such a degree and to an extent that I've never seen before. And yeah, Nobara, man. One scene she can be freaking out over like, oh, the big city and I want to go shopping, you know? But again, not really in a feminine way, but it's just like you typically think of that as a feminine quality. But then the next scene, she's literally like driving nails into her own body to, you know, kill the bad guys. And dude, that scene, dude, oh my gosh, I think I'm in love. I can't even, she's just a queen. Like, Nobara is, there's something about her. Like, Megumi, awesome. Itadori, awesome. But Nobara is someone who, from the beginning, she was an interesting character, but like really, we got to really see who she was as the show went on, to a degree that I have to give the author and the show creators props, because holy cow, this character is awesome. The writing in Jujutsu Kaisen is incredible, not just with Nobara, obviously. I think every character is very well written, and I'm very curious where they're going to take Nobara from here. But my favorite things about Nobara right now are the fact that she really is breaking that trend, that trope. She doesn't have to be in love with one of the characters. She doesn't have to be someone who is all in on the feminine or all in on the masculine. She's in between. Like, she's her own person. And I love this. I love that authors or writers can create these characters that break past those chains and break past those boundaries and can be their own character. Overall, I loved Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1. Epic show. What an absolute bomb, dude. Bomb in a good way. Like, the animation was incredible as well, and I gotta give huge props to Mappa. But just like seeing the writing and seeing the characters interacting and the action choreography and just the way that everything was handled. How can you create a show that is so terrifying and has all these horror elements, but is also super awesome and also extremely funny? Like, I don't know how they did this. They created so many fan favorite characters in just a few months. A year ago, not many people had heard of Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, it was heard of. People were excited when it was being released and stuff, but now it's like a staple in the shonen community. That's pretty rare. So overall, I'm extremely excited for Season 2 of Juju. You better know that I'll be covering it here on the channel when it does come out, and maybe I'll be making more videos on the show. I'm tempted to read the manga, but I still haven't decided what I'm gonna do with that. We'll definitely see. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, subscribe and like the video for more daily content, Tower of God related and other shonen anime and webtoons and manga and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that. Also, patrons, you guys are incredible. Huge shout out to you guys. If you want to join the community and become a patron as well and just chat with me and we can discuss future videos and stuff, then definitely check out the link below. All right, guys, I'll see you in my next Jujutsu Kaisen video. Take care.